High above a peaceful valley, nestled between rolling green hills, lay a quiet village where everyone knew their neighbor and life moved slowly. In this village lived a young shepherd boy. Every day, his job was to take the flock of sheep to the hills to graze. The sheep were gentle and quiet, content to munch on the sweet grass all day long under the warmth of the afternoon sun. But for the boy, the silence was deafening. He sat on his rock, staring at the horizon, wishing for something exciting to happen. He thought to himself, what if I stir things up a bit? A mischievous spark lit up his bright amber eyes. Suddenly, he jumped up and ran toward the edge of the hill overlooking the village, drawing a deep breath into his lungs.
Wolf! Wolf! The wolf is chasing the sheep!
He screamed as loud as he possibly could, his voice echoing through the valley. Down in the village, the hardworking people heard the cry. They dropped their hammers, baskets, and tools without a second thought. They raced up the steep path, panting and sweating, ready to drive away the predator and save the boy's flock. But when they reached the top, there was no wolf. There were only the sheep, grazing just as peacefully as before. The boy doubled over, laughing at the sight of the confused villagers. To him, it was the funniest thing in the world. The villagers were not amused. They grumbled and walked back down the hill, annoyed that their valuable time had been wasted. A few days later, the boy found himself bored once again. The trick had been so fun the first time, he couldn't resist.
Wolf! Wolf!
He cried out again. And once again, the kind villagers ran to his aid, only to find the boy laughing. This time, a stern elder stepped forward.
Save your breath for when there's a real problem, boy. Nobody believes a liar.
Later that evening, as the sun began to dip below the horizon, the sky turned a deep, fiery orange. Out of the dark shadows of the forest, a real wolf emerged. It was large, lean, and very, very hungry. The predator moved silently through the tall grass, its eyes fixed on the vulnerable flock. The sheep began to bleat in terror. The shepherd boy froze. This wasn't a game anymore. His heart hammered against his ribs as he saw the sharp teeth of the beast.
Wolf! Wolf! Help me! There is a wolf!
He screamed, his voice cracking with real desperation this time. Down in the village, the people heard his cries. They looked at each other and shook their heads.
He's just trying to fool us again.
One villager said. They ignored his pleas and continued with their evening chores. Without anyone to stop it, the wolf lunged into the flock. The sheep scattered in every direction as chaos erupted. When the sun had fully set, the villagers finally went up the hill to check on the boy. They found him sitting alone, weeping.
The sheep were gone, lost to the forest.
The boy looked up at the villagers with eyes full of regret and sorrow.
I was telling the truth. Why didn't you come?
He sobbed. The villagers looked down at him with pity, but the lesson was learned. Nobody believes a liar, even when they are telling the truth. Remember, trust is easy to lose, but very hard to build back. Honesty is the best policy. Always tell the truth, and people will be there for you when it matters most.